The cost of Dublin's Metrolink has now ballooned to potentially €19 billion. Good morning, and welcome to the Morning Brief. Today is Tuesday, 28th July, 2026. I'm Neil, and in the next few minutes, I'll take you through the news that matters at home in Ireland, then across to Britain, and out into the wider world. Everything you need to know before the day begins. Ireland. Let's begin here at home, in Ireland. The Dublin Metrolink project, one of the country's most ambitious infrastructure schemes, is facing a significant cost escalation. The estimated price tag has now climbed to potentially €19 billion, a major jump from earlier projections. This will affect how government money is allocated across the country and will ultimately impact Dublin commuters waiting for better transport links. For anyone in Dublin, Cork or Galway, the practical impact is clear. The money spent on Metrolink is money not spent elsewhere in public transport, housing support, or other services that Irish households depend on. In other news from home, the Taoiseach, Micheál Martin, is holding talks with the German Chancellor here in Dublin today. The two leaders will discuss EU challenges, including disputes over the bloc's long-term budget. It's a critical moment for Ireland's negotiating position on how European money is divided up, and that directly affects how much funding flows back to Irish workers, Irish businesses, and our public services. There's also significant news from Limerick. German Alumina, a major industrial employer in the county, will now hire a Swiss verification firm to prove that its products are not being supplied to the Russian military. This follows a report on shipments to Russia and addresses concerns about EU sanctions compliance. The move protects the plant's reputation and Ireland's standing with European regulators, but it underscores the scrutiny that Irish business faces when it comes to international sanctions. And finally from home, Gardaí have announced a major drug seizure at Dublin Port over the weekend. 3 separate operations netted cocaine and cannabis worth €11.5 million on the streets. It's a significant blow against drug trafficking networks trying to get product into Ireland, and a reminder of the ongoing work law enforcement carries out to protect Irish communities. UK. Now, across the Irish Sea to the UK. The UK's National Health Service is facing a fresh squeeze. Royal Mail is raising prices for bulk users, including NHS appointment notices and bills, by up to a third, effective from October the 5th. It's a sign of the financial pressures on the postal service, but the impact will be felt by any Irish healthcare provider or business that uses Royal Mail for bulk communications to UK customers, who will now face higher costs for those services. Prime Minister Andy Burnham has announced a significant shift in education policy. English schools will now be directed to adapt their teaching for students aged 14 and upwards to align with local job markets, introducing technical subjects like artificial intelligence and manufacturing. Why does this matter on this side of the Irish Sea? Because education policy changes in Britain can influence how Irish policymakers think about curriculum development, and may prompt reassessment of Ireland's own approach to remain competitive in tech and advanced manufacturing sectors. And the UK is sweltering. A 4th heatwave of 2026 is underway, with temperatures forecast to reach mid-30s Celsius. The Liberal Democrats are calling for emergency legislation to equip schools, hospitals, and new homes with air conditioning. Extreme weather patterns affecting Britain can influence Irish climate policy decisions, cross-border supply chain planning, and represent broader climate challenges affecting both islands that require coordinated response. world. And finally, out into the wider world. US President Trump is sending conflicting signals about Iran. He says Washington and Tehran are having good talks. Yet at the same time, drone strikes are hitting Iranian proxies in neighbouring countries. The mixed messages raise serious questions about whether genuine de-escalation is possible, or whether military actions will continue. For Ireland, this matters because escalating Middle East tensions directly threaten European security and stability, and could impact shipping routes through the Red Sea that are vital to Irish trade. Ukrainian President Zelensky is meeting with US senators as Congress prepares to vote on Russia sanctions. The timing suggests ongoing debate in Washington over continued support for Ukraine. The knock-on effect for Irish households? Shifts in US support for Ukraine could undermine European unity and Ireland's alignment with international sanctions policy. There's a warning from the global health community. UNAIDS is reporting that HIV prevention and treatment funding has fallen by 18%, risking a reversal of decades of progress in combating the disease. Without sustained investment, HIV could resurge as a major public health crisis. Ireland funds and participates in global health initiatives through development aid. A resurgent HIV crisis would affect Irish healthcare costs and our commitment to UN Sustainable Development Goals. And finally, Asian markets have experienced significant declines as investor anxiety over artificial intelligence valuations and profitability concerns has triggered a broader technology sector sell-off. The rout reflects growing uncertainty about whether AI companies can justify current market valuations. For Ireland, this matters because Irish pension funds, investment portfolios, and multinational tech companies based here, Apple, Google, Meta, have substantial exposure to Asian markets and the global tech sector. Market volatility of this scale affects Irish investors' retirement savings and corporate valuations. A lot moving this morning. Escalating tensions abroad, significant infrastructure costs at home, and another reminder that global economic shifts ripple quickly into Irish wallets and workplaces. And that's the morning brief for today. Whatever the day brings, take it steady. I'm Neil. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Until then, look after yourself. The case reminds the world that disease outbreaks remain an unpredictable threat to global health security, requiring rapid international coordination and resources. A lot moving this morning. Energy costs and major infrastructure decisions at home in Ireland, tensions easing globally but challenges mounting in China, and wildfires and winter pressures testing communities on both sides of the Irish Sea. And that's the morning brief for today. Whatever the day brings, take it steady. I'm Neil. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Until then, look after yourself.